You think that's funny?" Her voice didn't rise. It cut. Straight through the laughter like a knife, through skin clean, deliberate, impossible to ignore. The park didn't fall silent. It collapsed. One ripple at a time, like sound. Itself was backing away. Officer Brent froze, baton still hooked under her skirt's edge. Mid-laugh, mid-mockery caught with a grin that had nowhere to land. He opened his mouth, but the air had changed. She didn't look humiliated, didn't stammer, didn't break. She looked like something old, something lethal, like a storm that had finally been given a name. And Brent, in that single second, knew he hadn't just touched a woman, he'd touched a wire. And now the current was coming. 30 seconds ago, he was invincible. Swagger in his spine, cocky in that way the badge lets you be when no one tells you no. Another prank, another laugh. Another you had to be there moment for the locker room. She didn't flinch. She turned slow, controlled, ready, like she'd been daring him to do it. Eyes locked onto his, still, cold, commanding, then her hand moved. Not shaken, not rushed. It dipped into her leather bag like she was reaching for a verdict, a wallet, a flip, a badge. Federal agent, Civil Rights Division. The sun caught the gold. The crowd caught their breath. Brent blinked. "You're what?" She didn't even answer. She let the badge speak. Let the silence drown him. "Still think it's funny?" His hand dropped like the baton had turned into a weapon, and this time, it wasn't in his hand. He glanced at his partner. Nothing but guilt turned sideways. "Look, I didn't mean—" "No, you didn't think," she said. "And that's, the more dangerous thing." She didn't yell, didn't posture, just stared. Then she turned and walked away, skirt untouched, spine unbent, power unspoken. But behind her, he unraveled. Piece by piece, left bleeding on the concrete without a single drop of blood. He stood there long after she disappeared, not in guilt. Not yet, just the kind of confusion that feels like a warning. The kind that whispers, "You're not the storm, you're just in it now." The report came 12 hours later. No charges. No press, just one sentence. "He will shadow me. 2 weeks." Not punishment, education, one word at the bottom of the memo. "Absorb." He scoffed when he read it. By day 3, the laugh was gone. Her name was Celia Monroe. No husband, no kids. No patience for fools. She walked like every hallway belonged to her, because she earned them. He followed her through shelters that smelled like fear. Hospitals lined with women too tired to scream. Courtrooms where justice sat in the back row, bleeding. He saw things he couldn't unsee. He heard stories that didn't come with endings. Women who flinched when boots echoed. Too loud, nurses whose complaints vanished like smoke. Teenagers who laughed while their hands shook. Celia listened like their pain had weight. Brent listened like it could crush him. Day 5 broke him. A 15-year-old girl described a security officer who joked about her outfit during detention. She laughed, but her knuckles were white. And Brent heard his own voice in her story. Same tone, same words, same rot. He couldn't look at her, because that day she was a mirror and he hated what he saw. By day 8, sleep became a ghost. He kept hearing his own laugh and other people's trauma, and it didn't sound like a joke anymore. On the final day, Celia handed him a file. One photo, a surveillance still. A girl, shoulders curled, eyes hidden, spine bent, not screaming, just surviving. He squinted. Different clothes, shorter hair, but those eyes. "I was 17, she said. Public park. Officers said I misread the moment. They told me I was too sensitive, that I asked for it. So I became what they couldn't ignore." He looked at her, stunned. "Why didn't you press charges?" She didn't blink. "I didn't let you off easy," she said. "I made you see." They stood there, no apologies, no handshakes, just truth. He wanted to thank her. He wanted to beg forgiveness. But none of it would have been enough, so he said nothing. And she nodded, like silence was finally the right response. He returned to patrol changed, not perfect, not clean, but no longer blind. He spoke when the jokes turned ugly. He noticed when someone winced. And when a rookie asked, "Hey, remember that woman in the skirt?" He just nodded and walked away. Because the joke was dead. and the lesson had only just begun. Before you click away, tell us where you're watching from. Let's connect the world one story at a time. Some people learn by listening. Others need to be broken open, undone, rewired. If this story didn't feel like fiction, maybe it wasn't? So ask yourself, would you have laughed too? Or would you have stopped it before it started? Drop your answer below. Ask ChatGPT.